Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action, and today the cute, cuddly Skaven are going to be taking on their arch nemesis, the Dwarves, so let's get straight to it. This is, in fact, the last game that my stream crashed. Unfortunately, I was not able to cast this game on the stream because the stream crashed. But nonetheless, I figured you guys would definitely want to watch it. It is a very epic game. We've got Aristodamos with the Skaven here up against A-Move Hackers Dwarves. So let's get to it. QUEEK Headtaker, of course, leading the way. He's got a Doom Wheel out here, some Death Runners, Storm Vermin, Warlock Engineer. These Night Runners here taking some blasting charges. We've also got plenty of Rat Ogres, a couple units of them. More Death Runners and Storm Vermin out on the flanks, plenty of Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats with shields, as well as Slave Slingers. We've also got, let's see here, Slayers, we've got some Rangers, Miners with blasting charges, Iron Drakes, a unit of Thunders here, Grumbling Guards, Dragonback Slayers, a Regular Lord, and a Thane. We've also got Iron Drakes, more Iron Drakes I should say, Slayers, Dwarf Warriors, more Miners in the front line, and Rangers as well, so yeah. Going to be a pretty decent battle. You can see Skaven right now just pushing up all across the board here. Going to be putting in some decent fire. The slings won't do a whole lot, but just through sheer volume of fire, they can start to work on units like these Miners, for example, a little bit here. Meanwhile, over on this far side, you can see the QUEEK squad with the Death Runners getting in here. They're going to be running into these Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors will definitely just get run over by all these elite units. You can see they're already taking a ton of damage here. Going to be switching out with this other unit of Dwarf Warriors. But yeah, just a matter of time before these units crumble through. That being said, you can see Rat Ogres come through and just get absolutely roasted by Iron Drakes. Definitely in a very uncomfortable situation. They're going to try and push back and get on these Rangers, which they will be able to do somewhat effectively, but it's still not going to be necessarily ideal. Still just getting flamed in the face by those Iron Drakes, so they are going to go ahead and pull back, it looks like. Meanwhile, across the rest of the line here, obviously, Skaven Infantry not really holding up too well, but the Skaven Slaves maybe going to soak blasting charges at the very least. Yep, at least soaking a few blasting charges and causing some friendly fire Dawi casualties here, but of course, being Skaven Slaves, they're not going to be able to hold up their leadership, and the Clan Rats just get wrecked as well. So this flank definitely not going great for the Skaven, but in the center, you can see the Lord's a little bit surrounded here by Rat Ogres. Very nice Warp Lightning going to come down and at least force these Iron Drakes here to move. Even if it didn't necessarily do a ton of damage to them, they still, were forced to move. The Doom Wheel has taken quite a bit of damage, but pulling through, it took a few nasty volleys from those Thunderers. But at this point, it's, starting to get into things, starting to get some work done. Let's see, up to 8 kills so far, not too bad, but the Iron Drake's definitely going to be tough. The Skaven low leadership units, even like these, like the Storm Vermin and the Death Runners especially, if they get hit by those Iron Drakes, will take an absolute ton of damage. So Overcast Death Frenzy, though, going down here, buffing up those Storm Vermin significantly. You can see they're up to 50 melee attack. Same thing with these Death Runners, 62 melee attack. And the Weeping Blade, it's worth noting, this is the only percentage-based armor debuff in the game. All the rest are absolute values, so it scales very, very well against the Dwarves. You can see Grumbling Guard down to 50 armor because of that Weeping Blade effect, meaning that non-AP troops, if you saturate them with those Death Runners, will do quite well. Like, personally, I would probably say you could cut the Halberds and bring a Sword and Board version instead to go with the Death Runners, but as it is right now, the Dawi is starting to collapse a little bit here, but they do still have some missile units secure over on this side. You can see Aristo trying to move up his Skaven Slaves and so on just to kind of tie up this backline area, leading these Dwarf Warriors on a wild goose chase there, where the Thunders are continuing to free to fire here. Looks like they're getting a beat maybe on those Storm Vermin there. Very nice Warp Lightning as well. QUEEK and the Engineer are going to be going after the Thane here. QUEEK, of course, with his bonus versus infantry and AP damage, will be able to get some really good work done against Dwarf characters. You can see that Thane's getting very, very low. A very uncomfortable situation for him. Death Runners, unfortunately, getting routed off here. They get blasted by those Iron Drakes a little bit. Very cost-effective use of those Iron Drakes, certainly, to go after those low armor, high-value units. Meanwhile, the let's see here, the Doom Wheel trying to disrupt the Dawi that are going after the skirmishers here. The Skaven Slaves, not really a whole lot to protect necessarily, but at least can run some disruption and get some easy charges. We're going to grab some more cinematics as the Doom Wheel continues to punch through the lines here, doing a great job. And Storm Vermin also holding out here as well. Looks like they have managed to get one unit of Iron Drakes off the field. The other unit still completely healthy at this point, though. But yes, not sure where QUEEK got off to. Well, looks like he's helping to deal with those Thunders over here. Got a few Death Runners in company as well, and yeah, they're going to be able to drag down these Thunders. Obviously, QUEEK himself going to be very good in this type of a situation. You can see over here, Rat Ogres tied up with Dwarf Warriors. Not the end of the world, but we do have some regrouping Death Runners and other units together. They can kind of run in here and start to clean up some units as well. It is very close in terms of the balance of power. Still dead even. A lot of the Skaven infantry units are just not able to hold their leadership together, unsurprisingly. And even the Rat Ogres at this point getting pretty low. The Doomwheel hasn't, unfortunately, been able to be finished off by the Dwarves. You know, they got it pretty low in that initial phase, but as it is right now, the Doomwheel is still online, still able to provide really nice terror bombs, and ooh, nice juicy Warp Lightning there, doing a ton of damage to those miners and Dwarf Warriors and so on in this pocket here, fighting in the forest against these Rat Ogres. Not going to be ideal for the Rat Ogres necessarily, but you can see here the Iron Drakes firing in. This is a big problem. They're doing a ton of damage. You can see just that mass, what is the ability? Scurry away. So QUEEK's going to get back in here and personally start to shut down these Iron Drakes. You know, QUEEK's not too happy about the Skaven barbecue going on here, so he's going to get in here and start to cut these guys up. And he will be able to just about one-shot the unit models there and take them out very quickly. So bad news for the Iron Drakes getting caught up by QUEEK. Meanwhile, we've got the Death Runners popping the concealment bombs and then running in again. Trying to get another little timing push here, get that Weeping Blade. Looks like maybe Rat Ogre is going to follow up as well. Nope, they must have got caught up somewhere. I thought they were here. Anyway, at this point, the drain from the Warlock Engineer is also hitting a lot of these troops. Of course, they are going to be fairly resistant to magic, but another Warp Lightning coming down here will do enough damage over time that it can kind of tick away. Especially, you know, Dawi units are so durable that any kind of damage you can get against them is great. So yeah, that warp stone armor there draining all the units in that pocket. Meanwhile, Clan Rats with shields pushing forward here. QUEEK just about finishing off the Iron Drakes here. A few of them still trying to fire away, but QUEEK's getting in here with his nice acrobatic moves and, oh man, just absolutely cutting them up. They are going to rout off at this point, and you can see over here the Doomwheel providing a nice terror route, allowing a lot of these units to get chased off by Clan Rats and some tattered Rat Ogres and so on. So things are not necessarily looking great for the Dawi at this point, but they did manage to break off all these units in this kind of pocket right here. So we'll see. QUEEK coming in to try and disrupt some of the Rangers who are now out of ammo, going to be running in. We've got more Skaven Slave Slingers who've just been kiting around this unit of Dwarf Warriors for the entire battle pretty much. There's a couple Iron Drakes there. Probably won't finish them off, but at this point, we're going to get kind of a pitched late game engagement here. You can see the terror from the Doomwheel is definitely a problem for the lower tier Dawi troops in this late game situation. But the Slayers, of course, they don't care too much about that. They're going to run in here, start to cut up these Rat Ogres. We've got Warriors of Dragonfire Pass moving in as well, so the Dawi definitely still have a strong presence. It's certainly not too one-sided yet to be able to be pulled back. But these Dwarf Warriors here, relatively healthy, actually doing some good damage to the Doomwheel. This Doomwheel needs to stay on the move and not get bogged down. Looks like over here we've got QUEEK regrouping with a few units. He's trying to pull together, you know, the Death Runners. He's got some Clan Rats here. There's Night Runners as well. The Engineer. Just trying to get some unified forces back together to try and make a cohesive, you know, kind of concerted push. Meanwhile, the Doomwheel still just disrupting. We've got crossfire up from Slingers shooting in. Pretty much any damage that they can do at this point is basically free damage. So, does look like our friends, the Iron Drakes, are coming back, all three of them. And another Warp Lightning coming down. Of course, this is going to hit some of these slaves here, but, I mean, they're just Skaven slaves, right? Does get a pretty good hit on the Dawi there, and then the Doomwheel comes rolling through. And potentially going to proc a terror route. Yep, it looks like at the very least the Rangers were terrified away. And also the Death Runners coming in here, and you can see here comes QUEEK. He's got his eyes set on the Dawi leadership, and you can see the Lord there. Lord's actually going to go after the Engineer here. That is going to leave him free to be chased down by QUEEK. He's going to get that Death Frenzy popped on him to juice up his combat stats, and then the Lord's going to get the trophy head, so all of a sudden this is a terrible situation for this Dawi Lord. He's going to go ahead and book it back towards his own lines, but at this point said lines are crumbling. We've got the Grumbling Guard, Miners routing at this point. It's pretty much just the Slayers holding out, a few Dwarf Warriors and Miners over on this side as well, but there's no answer for the Doom Wheel at this point, no way to stop it up, and there's also not really an answer for QUEEK as well. He personally could probably solo the rest of this Dawi army. It might be tough, but he's going to get in here, try and finish off the Dawi Lord. Of course, the Mad Doom Wheel going to get in here and run him over a little bit as well. But yeah, at this point, can pretty much say it's going to be a Skaven victory. The balance power is starting to turn more and more. You can see the Dwarf Lord actually got terrified there by the Doom Wheel, which is definitely not great. That is going to leave him a little bit exposed. Once the terror drops, let's see if QUEEK smells him. Nope. Oh, yep. QUEEK going to get in here, just all wild, windmilling his arms about. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that animation before. Is that his charge animation? That's ridiculous. Are you serious? Oh man, QUEEK manages to scare the Dwarf Lord away, unsurprisingly, with that windmill attack there. Oh man. Super fun battle. Well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. And for those of you who are curious, yes, Aristo would have retained the throne at the end of the stream, so super fun battle. In terms of the breakdown here, Death Runner's playing a very key role with the Storm Vermin. Of course, the Doom Wheel was also a very key tool as well. 69 kills on QUEEK himself with 85 on the Warlock Engineer. Not bad at all. Miners with blasting charges were able to clear out quite a bit of the chaff. Unfortunately, just the Thunderers weren't quite able to shut down the Doom Wheel. Slayers did a decent job of shutting down lots of units, lots of kills across the board for both of them, but unfortunately the Skaven numbers just proving to be a little bit too much in the late game. Very well played to Aristo, keeping that Doom Wheel on the move and alive into the late game despite the early damage that it did take. So, super fun battle. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.